So today I want to talk to you about 5 things that are critically important as a former superintendent in the construction industry and now pre-construction slash business development person at my company. I still remember what it's like to be in the field, but I also know some of these skill sets apply absolutely anywhere. So let's just get into it really quickly. First and foremost, collaboration and communication. It's easy, everybody's saying it, we all know how important it is, but not everybody's doing it. How are you collaborating with your teams? Are you looking at your scope of work, recognizing how it impacts another team, whether it's the person on your team or someone that is installing work in another scope? How are you collaborating, trying to create that synergy that we all need to get our jobs done? How are you communicating with your team? Are you letting them know in real time what your issues are? Are you planning ahead and letting them know what they need to get done before you come to that deadline situation? So you think about collaboration and communication, they go hand in hand, and we absolutely need people to do those things. As we know, this industry, as long as I've been in it, which is about 34 years, this was a foreign language for a long time. We didn't even think about collaboration. We didn't think about how we need to communicate. We just got stuff done. That's what we did. But we're in different times now. We're in a position where teams are working together. There's an expectation for people to collaborate. We know we get more done when we actually work as a unit. And that means people across the aisle have to figure out how they decide to get along and work together. Because typically, one person or one company is not winning and the others are losing. It's usually you're all losing, you're all winning. And so really important that we think about collaboration. And if you want to learn more, you can definitely go visit some of my other videos on collaboration, communication, the importance of how you do that and how you engage each other. Next one is conflict resolution. It's so easy to get ticked off, to get pissed off, to fly off the handle and just decide, screw it. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to do it my own way. Forget this whole team effort. How do you dissolve issues? More importantly, how do you resolve issues on your team? Conflict resolution is not just a cliche word. It actually requires some skill set, some humility, some empathy, some emotional intelligence in figuring out what is the core issue. The one key thing about conflict resolution is not finger pointing. It's not to find blame with someone. It's to discover how the problem even was created so that you can solve the real issue versus point the finger. There's that saying of the process over the people. So you beat the process up, but you don't beat the people up. But you absolutely figure out, how do we resolve this situation so that not only it's not about just singing Kumbaya and holding hands when it's all said and done, but it's about recognizing that we found a core issue on our team and we identified it as a team and we solved it. And then we put measures in place so that we can take the corrective action to not repeat that same scenario. Sounds really, really simple, but it's not. But it's so important because it fragments our abilities to be successful. It fragments our abilities to be productive, to be safe, to get the job done that we're all here to try and do. Next one is our role clarity and accountability. Sometimes we're not sure who really is the boss. It's not this is the person speaking the loudest. And of course, the title lets us know. But what is your role in that being the boss? What is your actual role? What are you there to do? How are you executing your teams? How are you implementing the task and creating that synergy that's required for people to be productive? So one thing that is important with role clarity is, think about it like this. I was a journeyman, I was a foreman, I was a general foreman, I was a superintendent. I went through all these phases, and every time I took a promotion, I still conducted myself like I was in a prior role. So when I was a journeyman, all I'm doing is stalling work. I'm being done. I'm told what I need to get done, and I go do it. When I go to a foreman, I'm managing maybe a crew of 3 or 4 people, and if I'm still operating like I'm installing work all day, every day, and not getting the people that need the work lined out in the direction, then I'm not doing my job. Then I become a general foreman, and I'm still acting as a foreman, looking at the 3 to 4 people, 5 people, when I should be looking at a more wider spectrum. And so each step requires some training. Each step requires for people to sit down and spoken to about, how do I execute this new task, this new role that I have, this new responsibility that I inherited, that I want, but I'm still walking around as a GF with my tool belt on, and therefore, yeah, I can get work done, but my real job now, my real role is to go and make sure I'm laying out other people so that they can get their jobs done. So it's really important that sometimes we promote people and we don't give them the skill sets, or we don't give them the tools to do the job that we now promoted them to do. And if they don't know, they're going to continue to do the things that got them success. And so it takes some time to sit down with those people, help them navigate, what does this look like in your new role? And then the accountability part is making sure that, what does it mean to be accountable to something? It doesn't have to be a bad word. It's just recognizing that we need accountability measures so that people understand, one, when they're doing well and when they need to improve. It doesn't have to, you don't have to beat someone up when you're saying, I'm making you accountable. It's about recognizing that, hey, I do this job with some risk, and the accountability is saying that I take responsibility and ownership for what I need to get done. I inherit that. And so there are accountability measures for every level of worker. And some are way more important, and the higher you climb the ladder, because you have more impact in your company, on your job sites, and in your role. And so it's really important to lay out, what does that really look like? What am I accountable to? What do I need to get done by when? How do I get that done by that time frame? And if I don't, what does that accountability measure look like when I fail? But also, what does it look like when I succeed? The next one is being adaptable and flexible. This trait has so many moving parts, and one of the things that we haven't done really well is being flexible and adaptable. Although we absolutely have to be, we can be very rigid and stiff, but we also recognize that things change on a drop of a hat. It's important for us to plan our work, but we also know that plan has to have some backups. We use tools that help us plan our work, and also those tools will have factors in that will give you a plan A, a plan B, and even a plan C if something doesn't work out, so you don't have a bunch of people sitting around or standing around with nothing to do, because we know that time is money, right? So we have to learn how to be flexible, especially now when you throw in that word collaboration and communication, and we have our teams planning out their work before it gets installed, figuring out how things are going to look, navigating through drawings, and figuring out who's going where, why, when, routes, all those kind of things. And one of the things that we have to learn how to do and teach our teams, our field leads, is the ability to be adaptable. And winning doesn't always mean going in first. Winning doesn't always have to mean that you get your way. Because when you think about the team aspect of this and that collaborative component, is someone going first may make the project go better and give you an opportunity to be more productive, because perhaps you'll have the floor completely to yourself. And so there's always these opportunities to negotiate how you're going to get things done. So you might feel like you lose in one area, but you might gain a couple other things that's going to help you to be more efficient and more productive for your teams. But as the leader, you have to sell that to your team so that they don't just think, oh, we lost, we gave up, we gave in, we didn't get our way, and so now I'm going to go out and sabotage what you just planned out. And that's a real thing. So it's recognizing like, hey guys, hey team, we didn't lose. We just made some adjustments that's going to actually help us be more productive and get more work put in place faster. So, but you have to sell that as the leader. You're accountable for that, and so thinking about how to be more adaptable, how to be more flexible, doesn't mean you're giving up everything. It just means that you figuring out strategies of how to help the entire team win. Last one is support and empowerment, and they all kind of tie together, because you think about support. All of our teams need support. Today I was just thinking about, I was writing an article about superstars and how one person can just be so good at everything that they tend not to need anyone, and people lean on them very heavily, or they don't engage their teams when they actually should when they're making decisions. But they're so used to just being that one shining star that they've just done it all. But even that person can get worn out and need support. But let's consider you're a new apprentice that is trying to figure it out. I remember when I was a new apprentice, first day on the job, and just didn't know what I was doing. It was lost completely, and it had no one came to my rescue, but it was easy to pick apart what I didn't get done and blame me for it. And so it's important that we provide support. We recognize some of those what we call lost souls that are kind of out there straggling around, and they need some direction. And it's important for us to lay out all of our team. And that's why we have a team, so that maybe you're not laying out the apprentice, but someone else on your team is. And so you're creating that accountability to them to get that job done, and they're providing support to that team member that is kind of green and trying to figure it out. We don't want anyone that is new to the trades to get hurt, because those are the people who tend to get hurt first and more frequently are the new ones, because they're learning everything. And because they're green, they're going to take unnecessary risk possibly. And so that's where we have to train, develop, and the other word was to empower people. What does it really look like to empower someone? Just think about, say a journey level person that has been around the block a little bit, and they're looking to get a promotion, they're looking to become a foreman on a job at some point in the future, and you give them some type of task to say, hey, we're giving you a shot to take some responsibility. We're going to empower you to go do this, whatever that may be. And you don't know, if you do know, you remember how that makes you feel when you're kind of given a shot. You've given an opportunity to, hey, show what you got. And so by empowering people, we help them build confidence. We help them understand that we believe in them. And we also help them that there's growth opportunities that exist in the space that they're in. The other thing about empowerment is when you release that to someone and say, hey, I'm giving you the right to make decisions when I'm not there. That's empowerment. And that's what people want. They want some autonomy. Does it mean that they can just do everything they want whenever they want? No, they graduate to different levels. But it's really important that we empower our people and not think they have to call us for everything. Long gone are the days when that one person, that all-star, that superstar that had all the answers, not at the job site, is getting 20 phone calls just to say, hey, where's the ladder? Or where's that tool? Or can I go do this, boss? And that doesn't work. But when we empower people, we say, hey, I want you to make decisions. And what's the key to that? Is that you're not giving them the keys to the kingdom to make every decision so that they can fail drastically. You're doing a little bit at a time so that they can build confidence, they can showcase that they understand it, and they'll be looking for more, and you'll be confident to give them more because you see they're competent. So those 5 things, real quick, again, collaboration and communication, conflict resolution, role, clarity, and accountability, adaptability and flexibility, and finally support and empowerment. Let's get out there and help our people win. Let's help them do their jobs better, safer, more efficiently, more productive, and let's try to have fun. Let's try to have fun together on these projects because work is hard. We'll do more of that than we spend time with our family. Make it a great day.